Keto-alicious. Today we are going to be making keto onion rings. Keto onion rings have been one of the things that I have had questions about, sometimes with burgers, keto onion rings, tater tots, french fries. That's a big one that a lot of us miss. And so my goal, of course, with Keto-alicious is to show you how you can make a lot of these things, still stay on your keto lifestyle plan, and also know that you're using the right products and the right ingredients so that you can have all your loves. And when you have all your loves, then of course you're not feeling like you're deprived. And if you're feeling like you're not deprived, of course, then it's easier to stay on the plan. So today I'm going to just do a very simple recipe. It's nothing special, but I am going to, I have grabbed one large onion and I took all the outside casing off of it, 2 eggs, I have 1/4 of a cup of almond flour, I have 3/4 of a cup of pork rinds, and I have a cup of Parmesan cheese. So normally I would put seasoning in with all of this, but I made the seasoned pork rinds as a snack. And if you remember, if you watched that video, one of them had like a cheesy flavor. It had Old Bay seasoning and some salt. So this was some leftover of that. So I'm going to go ahead and use this. But if you're just using plain pork rinds, then I would say add maybe some Old Bay, add some Himalayan sea salt. You can add, some Italian seasonings if you want. There's all kinds of things that you can do. If you're a ranch lover, you can add powdered ranch to it. So there's all kinds of things that you can do. So, be creative, but this is just my seasoned pork rinds. So I'm going to go ahead and just cut these. What I want to do is I want to cut them so that they are just thick enough to where they don't fall apart. And actually I sliced this when I was when I was pulling off the edge. So I'm seeing that some of mine are already falling apart, which yours won't be, so just pretend that mine aren't. And it doesn't matter anyway because, I'm not perfect in the kitchen. I like to have fun, and what the heck? I mean, we can do square onion rings if we want to, right? It's okay. So, but I'm just going to cut these up. I don't know if I'm going to use all of them, but I'm going to just cut them up and use as many as I can with my breading. And I have turned this heat on to high. I'm gonna put macadamia nut oil in my pan. You can use whatever oil you want. You can use olive oil if you want to. You can use avocado oil. Whatever you want. I like this because it's it's lighter when you're frying. Now I'm not putting a ton in here. And that's why I'm using a smaller pan, so it can kind of fill up a little higher so that it can heat up and really fry each side of these. Woo! Those onions are making me cry. Woo! I gotta get away from the onions for just a minute. I'll be right back. Woo-wee! Oh, those are crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. You know how some of those onions are so sweet, like the Walla Walla sweets. If you guys have never had Walla Walla sweets, oh, you're in for a treat if you ever find them, because they are so amazing, and they just actually almost have a sweetness to them. There is no crying. So, all right, guys, so you're going to have to forgive me. Some of my outer ones are going to be broken, but I'm going to take some of the inner ones instead just to give you an idea. And you just want to kind of separate them. Be real careful so that you don't break them. And I probably use 3 in, like these 3 sizes. I don't really go any smaller than that. You can use the whole onion. I just take the rest of them and cut them for my next recipe, and so nothing goes to waste. So when I said you want to cut them thick enough, you know, so that they don't break. So I'm just gonna continue on with this. And then what I'm going to do while I'm waiting for this oil to heat up is I'm going to add the mixture together. So I'm gonna add my my pork rinds, my seasoned pork rinds, my almond flour. Probably should have got a bigger plate. Actually, maybe I'll use a bowl. Maybe that'll be better. Let's see. Yeah, I wasn't thinking very clearly. I should have just got a bowl for this so that you could just dip it in and you don't have to worry about it falling off the sides. There we go. I'll just put this aside. And our cheese. And we are going to just kind of mix that all together so that you've got, especially the almond flour. The almond flour kind of has chunks in it. And you also want to get, whoo, I'm still crying from the onions that are right here in front of me. Holy moly. Huh. Okay, so you just want to get the extra fine almond flour. There's almond meal, and that is kind of broken down with the outing of the almond, and that doesn't make for very good breading or bread or anything that you're using. So if you can find the extra fine, that usually is they've really broken it down. They've taken off that outer layer of skin. So that's beautiful. That's ready. And here I'm just going to crack a couple eggs. And I'm going to get that ready to whip up so that I can dip my onions into it. And then I'm going to dip it into the breading mixture, and then I'm going to put them in. There we go. Perfect. Just enough to mix the eggs up. All right. So this is a pretty easy deal, and I guess I'll just keep talking to you guys for a little bit. I don't think this is heated up quite enough. So it is such a great side dish. It can go so well with so many other things. And sometimes when you're just looking for that perfect snack that you just want to, you know, maybe you're not hungry enough for a full meal, but maybe you just need, you know, a little something. And I call this a comfort food. I don't know about you guys, but when I was growing up, you know, we didn't have a lot of money, and so it wasn't always about the finer things for us. You know, it was about family time, and it was about sharing, and, you know, so I remember some of the things that we had, you know, a lot of it was kind of fast food type or frozen or boxed, or I think that's with a lot of families. You know, families are busy, and if you have a lot of kids, which I had 2 sisters, so, you know, my mom was a stay-at-home mom, and so she, you know, she was always looking for economical deals. And so we didn't do a lot of home baking at home, but we did do a lot of fast food type things. And so I'm not always saying that's good, but it brings back a lot of memories. And so this was a way for me to kind of soothe my childhood, you know, to be able to just really make something without feeling like you're going off of the plan at all. You're just doing your thing. So I think that, oh yeah, they're ready. Okay, so all you do is dip it in the egg, and I like to make sure it's all the way dipped, and then dip it into the breading. And I just, it depends on how much breading you like. I like to fully coat them. And then I like to give it a shake so that it's, comes out of the center, and lay it in there. And then continue on and just keep doing that until they're done. I fry them about 2 minutes, 1 to 2 minutes on each side. And they just are crunchy, crispy. They have an amazing flavor with the cheese on them. Now you could do this also with just almond flour and some pork rinds. If you don't like pork rinds, which some people tell me they don't, which is fine, then, put something else. Use almond flour or coconut flour with the cheese instead. So make it to where you really like it. This is not set in stone. This is just the way that I really like them. I really enjoy the cheese. The Parmesan cheese is one of my favorites, and it gives it kind of a cheesy, crunchy type feel to it. And they're so beautiful. Be careful, you don't want to, you don't want to let them burn. And I have this on high, so I'm going to, and you want to flip them? Oh yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. That one's not ready to flip yet. All right, so it's just kind of a little assembly line here. I just dip it in the egg, dip it in the breading. And I try to just lightly do it really fast, because if you just go really hard with it, the eggs kind of drop off, and then they have a tendency to make everything stick in the breading. So, oh my gosh, these are already so beautiful. So I'm going to take a couple of these out and let them just crisp up a bit while I'm continuing on making some more. And this is so easy, guys. And look, you've got homemade onion rings for your fries, or for your hamburgers or your hot dogs. We made those recipes a couple days ago. Actually, it wasn't longer than that. It was a couple weeks, maybe a week ago, that I made hamburger buns and hot dog buns, and made homemade hamburgers and hot dogs so that you can have them with the buns. Add these onion rings to them, and oh my gosh, you're just gonna feel like you're at a diner. All right, so everything's working good here. I'm gonna turn a couple of them over. Again, you just wanna be really careful. I've got it on medium high right now. You just don't wanna get it too hot, because it'll burn the cheese really fast, and you don't want that. So you kind of dip off the egg if you can, and I guess the best way to say is just dip it in this, and dip it, and then just immediately put it in there. But I guess I need to take out a couple before I can do that. Ooh, so pretty. Oh, they're so yummy too. Look at that. Ooh, so fun. This would be so great to make an assembly line with your family if you have young kids and they're starting to, want to learn how to cook. I remember when my daughter was younger, she was really, really excited to cook, and it's kind of a bittersweet because, they make a mess, but that's the way they learn, and that's the way they grow, and she's turned out to be a fine cook. So you definitely want to share these experiences with your kids so that you can have good memories. And believe me, they remember. They grow up and they make the same recipes. They love them. So if you're trying to get them into your keto lifestyle, they really don't know a difference when they're little. It's what we feed them, that they grow to make into habits. So we can kind of form our kids into eating better and healthier. So definitely something fun to do with your kids. Woo, these are just so pretty. Oh my gosh, so pretty. may have turned it down too low. So I just continue on with this. I just kind of keep going until I have the majority of them, or I'm running out of breading. And I just continue to cook, and they just turn out beautiful every time. So you'll have to let me know in the comments if you guys try this recipe and if you like it, or if you tried something different. If you added something different to it, I would love to hear what you've done in the comments below and share with me, because I love that everybody wants to cook and get involved. This is my favorite place in my whole house. I have a big house, and this is my absolute favorite place in the whole world to be, and it's making a meal for somebody or cooking, you know, to make a new recipe. To me, it's like art. You can put some of these things together and look, they turn out absolutely amazing. Look at this. Wonderful crunch. The onion is tender. You can taste the cheese. So crunchy. The flavor, the seasoning is just perfect. So if you haven't tried these, by all means, you guys, make them. Make them and try them. So I turned my oil down, and now it's taken a little bit. They're not cooking as fast. So I'm gonna, slow down. I got it all over me. So anyway, this is a great recipe. It's super quick, super easy. I mean, the longest time is really just putting them in here, just dipping, putting them in. And if you had a bigger pan, you could put probably half of them in one setting, flip them, and then you're done, and then do another setting. But I just did smaller here just because I wasn't making a whole bunch of them. I just was making just enough, just for myself, probably for, I don't know, probably for a snack, or probably for tonight for a side dish. And these little guys are so easy. If they cool off and, you know, they don't taste good to you and you want to heat them back up, I would recommend that you just put a piece of parchment paper on a baking sheet and then just layer them once they're cold and put them in the oven at 350 for, you know, about 5 minutes or so. Watch them so they don't burn, but put them back in the oven and they'll crisp right back up. So, you know, you can have them later as well. If you're running out of time and you do have time earlier and you want to make these, but you're not going to eat them right away. So you can definitely reheat them, put them in the oven. That is a great way to have them later if you want them for another meal. So that's really all there is to it. It's just a two-step process. There we go. They're starting to get hotter again. So I can cook them a little bit faster in front of you. But you get the gist of what I'm doing here. And it's another great way to feel like you're eating normal foods. And I don't feel like, you know, when I say normal foods, I'm talking about a lot of people that really, you know, they eat a lot of maybe fast food and keto. You know, if they feel like in their mind they can't have bread, or they can't have pasta, or they'll never be able to have potatoes, tater tots, all those. There's many different ways to make that stuff, and sometimes that kind of falls into the category. So anyway, guys, this is really all there is to it. It's just a matter of just cooking these little bad boys and then just letting them out, sitting them out, and they just get hard and crispy and crunchy, and they're so beautiful. I just think that they're gorgeous. All right, so I'm going to continue on with this, you guys. I hope you have an amazing day. I hope you take advantage of this recipe. Try it out. Let me know what you think. Let me know if your family loved it. They'll never know it's keto. Until next time, you guys, I love each and every one of you. If you're not a subscriber, please do. And if you haven't clicked the bell above, don't miss any of my videos. Until next time, guys, I'll see you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.